My beautiful people, my beautiful people, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the Logic of Emotions podcast / reactions. It's your dog, Melly Baby. Today, man, we're going over a video from, I think it was Uncut Hoops, I believe it was. And let me just make sure. Yes, Uncut Hoops. He does very good analysis, very good breakdowns, especially on sports takes. But one in particular is Draymond Green's bad takes. Now, we all know in the new media and the old media, there's bad takes. But in Draymond Green's case, he has a lot of good takes, but let's check out the bad ones. Before we do, though, let's get to the intro.
He's very critical of the quote-unquote old media. Guys like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Nick Wright, as well as many others.
I despise every single one of these men. These are all. Kendrick Perkins shouldn't even be here. Kendrick Perkins, he might be a mook. I haven't used that word in a long time, but he's a mook. Mook, skinwalker. I don't know, man. When it comes to him, man, it's just Stephen A. Smith. It's kind of different. He has good takes.
Green has absolutely no problem calling them out for their terrible and awful takes. So with that being the case, in today's video, we're going to call the man himself, that being Draymond Green, for his awful takes and quite literally expose him. And the first take I do want to look at involves Steph Curry and his ISO scoring ability.
Oh, yeah.
Teams have figured us out, and I personally don't think at that point Steph Curry had figured out I'm going to get a bucket whenever I want to. I don't think he was capable of that yet.
That was Steph, I believe, during the Raptors finals kind of era when people were saying that. And I tell people this all the time. You go ahead and get put in a box and one. You go ahead and get guarded up from full court in the finals. Not regular season. In the finals. You go ahead. Let's see how good your favorite player does. Steph isn't the strongest person in the world. So he's not the fastest either. He's quick, he's fast, but he's not the fastest person in the world. Especially when Clay was hurt and KD was, come on.
We got to a point where we needed to be able to give someone the ball that can just go get a bucket. And Kevin was already there. I don't think Steph was there yet.
He was.
So right there, Draymond is pretty straightforward, saying Steph Curry couldn't get a bucket like Kevin Durant, and implying he was an all-time great ISO player. Now, one thing I do want to point out in that clip, Draymond gave no stats, no data, no factual information to back up his points. As looking at Steph this year in 2022, he was arguably the best ISO player in the entire NBA.
But no one knows that because everybody's going based off of these idiots in media when they just make these false claims. Or what they do is they'll give you some of the information, but not the full amount of the information when it comes to his PERs, his ISOs, and whatnot. So,
and looking at the stats among qualifiers,
Steph can easily
Steph
get
Curry
ISO.
Was first in points per possession, second in field percentage, and first in effective field percentage. And when it came to the entire NBA, he was in the top 4% of all ISO scores. And one thing I do have to point out, compared to Kevin Durant, he was ahead of him in every single category. And unfortunately for us, ISO scoring stats only go back to 2016, which is 1 year before Kevin Durant joined Steph in Golden State. But even with that being said, looking at that year, Steph Curry then was an elite ISO player, being second in points per possession, fourth in field percentage, first in effective field percentage, and among the top 6%
the EFG,
of all
man.
ISO scores.
He's been
and
for a
Draymond did
while.
say one key thing, that Kevin Durant was already there when he arrived in Golden State, compared to Steph Curry, who was not there when he paired with KD. But looking back at the 2016 playoffs, looking at Steph versus KD as ISO scores, Steph Curry once again beats him in every category, this time by a pretty wide margin.
And also, let's remember this too. This big screen is for y'all. We got to put this into perspective. Why was KD able to have all these ISO plays? Because the defense would rather KD go off than have Stephen Curry go off. That sentence alone should let you know how much more deadly Stephen Curry is than Kevin Durant. You guys are and gals, my brothers and sisters out here, you guys fall in love way too much with the hezzy tween. I know Steph's game isn't the prettiest. I know his tween hezzy spin around, all that isn't the prettiest. I understand all that. But his effectiveness, his efficiency, the way he raises his teammates' ceilings, there's so many things that he does. There's so many things that a lot of you don't understand if you don't play basketball, or so many things that you won't understand if you don't want to learn, just want to take everything by face value or just for the eye test. You have to understand, there's a reason why teams do not want him to ISO, and that was shown in the finals. That was shown in the playoffs. It was shown. Now, the funny thing is about this, too, he's going to explain it a little bit more, but I've been saying this for years. I'm a Stephen Curry fan, of course, obviously. But my favorite player of all time is Derrick Rose. But even at D. Rose's point, I love the Warriors because of Monte Ellis. That was one of my favorite players, the Mississippi Bullet. So I've always been a fan of Golden State for a while. So, but the thing about me is I love underdog stories. I love seeing people who work hard get what they truly deserve. So Stephen Curry is someone who had ankle injuries after ankle injuries after ankle injuries, is someone that I rooted for. You know what I'm saying? Just the same way as people going to look at me like, what the fuck? And like, I still love Jeremy Lin. I love Jeremy Lin's story. I love how Jeremy Lin got to the A, went to the Knicks, did his thing. I hated what happened, how the Knicks did him. If y'all don't know, well, there's some sort of rumor and whatnot saying that Carmelo basically got jealous, and it was either between him or Jeremy Lin. I could be wrong, of course, but just speculation, rumor, stuff like that. But yeah, man. So when people sit there and they say that Kevin Durant's better than Stephen Curry, I ask them how. What is he better at then? He's more efficient. He can get to the paint a lot easier, a lot better. He can finish around the rim a lot better. Shoot threes better. Passes better. Leads his team better. I think he actually damn near gets almost the same amount of rebounds as him, and he's 6'10". Like, come on, y'all.
At points on average, field goal percentage, as well as effective field goal percentage. And the most jarring thing I did find in the 2016 playoffs, Steph Curry was in the top 5% of ISO scores, compared to Kevin Durant, who was in the bottom 20%, a full 70 points below Steph Curry. So, breaking down both KD and Steph as ISO players, I think at the very least, Steph's on his level, and you could argue he's a better ISO player than Kevin Durant.
Again, why do you think Tyronn Lue said, we'd rather KD go off? We'd rather KD get those ISO plays. Because he understands that KD does not make his team better. Like, I don't think a lot of you understand that. Stephen Curry is the literal 2K version of Team Takeover. Like, I don't think y'all understand that. He is literally the Team Takeover. That is him. Because once he gets hot, the rest of his team feels that. All of them feel that. When have we seen that? When have we seen a player so unselfish? And that's the thing, too. Like, I appreciate greatness. So I appreciate LeBron. I appreciate Luka. I appreciate Giannis. I appreciate all of them. But when it comes to Stephen Curry, for some reason, he's always the one that cannot be appreciated as much as he obviously deserves. When it comes to fouls, he doesn't get a lot of fouls. I think he shot like 4 in the regular season. And I don't know what he did in the playoffs, but understand, this man is so good that he deserves a lot of foul calls, doesn't get them, but still shoots at such a high clip. That's amazing. That's amazing. And the thing I don't like about people is they find anything to just discredit him. He's not a true point guard. This, that, and the third. But they go saying LeBron's a true point guard. Like, it's the most hypocritical, just immature conversations that you just don't like him. You just don't like him. You don't like that he's killing your teams. You don't like that. I wouldn't either. Actually, I'm lying. I like good basketball, so I really don't give a damn. You know, I enjoy good basketball. Like I said, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. So when Ja Morant didn't play that one game and they blew the hell out of the Warriors, I ain't gonna lie to you. I love seeing how the Grizzlies were playing. I did, because that's good basketball, bro. It's good, but again, that shows people's immaturity level, and that shows people that don't really appreciate the game of basketball. They just appreciate their team, their one player. That's all they appreciate. I appreciate basketball. You feel me?
And of course, you guys saw Draymond was way off on this take. And staying with Kevin Durant, next up, we have another take from Draymond involving KD versus Carmelo as overall scorers.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
Carmelo or Durant, in their prime, who is the better scorer? Scorer only.
Ooh.
I don't know this. I have no
I'm
idea.
going to go with Melo. And the reason I'm going to go with Melo is because I grew up watching Melo score the basketball. You wanted mid-post work, first step, crazy. You wanted straight block work, fadeaway tough, and Melo will bully the hell out of somebody. You want the tray ball? We all know he can do that. He's just a three-point shooter for the USA team.
So let me ask you this before he even gets the breakdown. You said KD can get you a bucket more than Steph, which is ludicrous still this day. So you're basically telling me now that Melo's a better scorer than KD? In what world? In what world? And he'll break it down. Because you're kind of telling me basically that Melo's a better scorer than Stephen Curry. That's what you're basically telling me. And he's not. Let's keep that clear. I don't care how many low block. I don't care what he does. He's not. He's not.
Now,
The efficiency, the field goal, all that.
Major point was based in nostalgia instead of objective facts.
Yes.
Also, he says Carmelo can score from anywhere in the basketball court. In the post, the mid-range, the three, he can score anywhere and everywhere. And while that is true, that same logic applies to Kevin Durant
Exactly.
even more so.
So you have to break it down.
The reason I'm going to go with Melo is actually this in specific. We were playing against him at the Garden. It had to be my first or second year in the league. And Melo caught the ball in the post. He faced up on me.
It's all nostalgia. It's all nostalgia.
I fouled him a little bit.
Come on, man.
And he went through my chest, and I got the stop. He missed. Come back down. He did the exact same move the next play and made the referee call a foul. And the reason why that's such a big deal to me is because as a scorer, you go into slumps, you have bad shooting nights. And the one thing that breaks scorer slumps can be a free throw. And just knowing that Melo could get to the free throw line like that, that's why I'm going to pick Melo.
No.
Now, this argument right here, Draymond, he definitely lost me. As saying Carmelo Anthony is a better scorer, purely because of free throws, is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible logic.
As going down that line of thinking,
I'm about to say James Harden.
James Harden is the best scorer in NBA history.
Yep.
As back in Houston, he would get 20 free throws easy on a nightly basis. Drawing fouls, baiting the refs, I wouldn't say it's against the rules, but in a debate of who's the better overall scorer, that one factor really doesn't sway me.
Can also say this too. Stephen Curry averaged, I think, 1 year 4 free throws. I think he averages for his career like 4 free throws a game. I believe so. I could be incorrect. And that man has been tearing the league a new asshole for a minute now. So I'm just kind of trying to put 2 and 2 together when it comes to this kind of conversation. Stephen Curry's not getting those free throws, and he's doing way better than Carmelo has ever dreamed of doing in terms of scoring. So imagine if he did get those free throws that he did deserve. I'm just saying, like, a lot of you will sit there and say, he flops, so is LeBron. He cries, so is Russell Westbrook, so does AD. I literally hear Anthony Davis every single time he goes up. And I love Anthony Davis. I love LeBron. Again, but we got to call a spade for spade. A lot of you make excuses for these players because they're your favorite players. Curry does complain too. I do understand that. But can we not put into perspective that he doesn't get a lot of free throws? And there should be a reason as to why he has to complain to the refs a bit. Like, come on, y'all. There's a reason why he had to get stronger. There's a reason why he had to get stronger. Because he was lighting dudes up, being skinny assassin. But as we all know, he was getting hacked and raked all over the arm. So what do you have to do? You have to build muscle. You have to build mass. You have to become faster. You have to become more able to run around and get around screens more frequently. Being able to just make your life easier. That's what Steph had to do, bro. Carmelo Anthony, I'm sorry, bro, but all this, I don't know, bro. When it comes to Melo, like, his game is pretty, and I think that's why people love Melo so much. His game is pretty, but that's it. That's it. That's it.
As comparing both Carmelo and KD at their 10-year apex, Kevin Durant is severely outclassing him in virtually every category. He averages more points, he has more scoring titles, shoots better from the field,
Yeah.
better from three, better from the line, has a higher shooting percentage.
His efficiency
effective percentage
blows Melo out the water.
mid-range, averages more in the playoffs, as was the NBA Finals. And
Which
he
Melo
leads
never-
the
like,
KD
come on.
Is the better overall scorer compared to Carmelo. And Draymond's overall argument, if you want to call that, has no factual basis.
It's
and
just
isn't grounded in
nostalgia.
reality.
It's just
As one thing, Carmelo,
That's all
in
it
nearly
is.
every category, is inferior to Kevin Durant. Now, looking past Kevin Durant, we have his former teammate, that being Russell Westbrook, and Draymond Green's thoughts on him being traded from the LA Lakers.
The reality is, I'm
yeah.
not sure Russell Westbrook gets traded. I don't. If I'm guessing, just as an NBA fan, I don't really foresee it happening. Nor do I think it really should happen. You haven't really had the opportunity to see that team healthy, and how they could grow together healthy. And I also don't like how Russell Westbrook gets all of the blame for everything going wrong. Like, there's just...
So, right off the bat, let's make one thing very clear. Last year's Lakers team was one of, if not the biggest failures of all time.
yeah.
With Westbrook,
Easily.
AD, and LeBron.
Oh my God,
leading
those
the way.
Kobe's. Oh my God.
Speaking of those three,
Hold on. Oh my God, those. Oh.
since they played together, their overall record was only 11-10.
Oh my
And if
God.
you dive deeper, only 5 of those wins were versus actual playoff teams. And out of that 5, only 2 were impressive, as the other 3 were versus injured teams without their superstars. Even looking past that, just watching the games, you know Russell Westbrook does not fit on this team.
At all.
I wouldn't say it's his fault per se, but him on this roster makes absolutely no sense. And I do find it pretty common.
It's Russell Westbrook's fault. Stop. Stop. Stop doing this. I'm not saying it's all his fault, but he's definitely a good amount his fault. He has not grown up yet. He does not take criticism well at all. You can tell. Saying things like, I didn't come here. I believe he said this again. I'm just trying to remember. I didn't come here to really win, or some nonsense like that. My expectations weren't this, or some kind of just foolishness that he would say. Like, all y'all sit there and tell me he's a competitor, he's a beast, he's all that, he dunks hard. When you're getting blasted, at some point in your brain, you have to say to yourself, maybe I should try to do things a little bit differently. There were games and flashes where he did show that he did belong on that team, but there was even way more flashes that showed he did not belong on that team. And a lot of you Russell Westbrook fans need to stop. Because if you actually criticize him the correct way, not rudely, of course, just the correct way, I guarantee you after a while he would understand, like, yo, bro, I got to slow down a little bit. I got to pace myself a little bit more. I got to do this, that, a third, woo, woo. Try coming off the bench. See how that goes. Stephen Curry came off the bench from an injury, and he was hitting 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had no problem doing that. And he's top 10 of all time. Who the hell's Russell Westbrook that he can't try something new to gain himself a ring that he believes he deserves? You get what I'm saying? Again, I'm not going to be rude to Russell Westbrook. I'm not going to be rude to any of these basketball players or anybody, because there's no need for that. But when it comes to just absolute foolishness, that has to be discussed. The Lakers are fools for even getting this man. Russell's a fool for not taking accountability when he averages damn near like 5 or 6 turnovers a game. That's unacceptable, bro. His defense is lackluster as hell, or he fouls the hell out of you all the time. Like, come on now. And I watched all of their games. He cannot shoot threes. You have to work on your three-pointer. You have to. You have to work on your mid-range. You have to. Stop going in the post all the time. You can shoot in the post. We understand that. Again, I'm a basketball fan, so it upsets me seeing a player like Russell Westbrook, who is great, who is top 75. Not to me personally, but he is to other people. I don't care about the triple-doubles because that amounts to nothing. You got triple-doubles being on a team with no one else, except for the one time with Paul George and Oladipo, I believe. But that, come on now. Come on now. He can't even share the floor now with Paul George if that was the case. Because Paul George is getting back into his bag now. He's getting back into what he used to be, which I'm happy to see. Because I love Paul George on the Pacers. But at the same time, you have to give correct criticism to my Russell Westbrook fans. If you don't, I say it like this. If you don't agree with me, perfectly fine. Explain to me why you don't agree with me down in the comments. I love good conversation about anything, especially basketball. Show some love. If you don't like it, talk to me about it. Let's converse about it. I love talking basketball. But please, understand something. A lot of this is Russell Westbrook's fault. He knew what he was coming into. He knew what it is. He knew what it was to wear the purple and gold. That's an honor. It's an honor to wear an NBA jersey in the first place. I understand that. But when it comes to the two biggest organizations, the Celtics and the Lakers, that's an honor, son. That's an honor, dog. So you having this, you know what it is? Him and John Wall to me have this attitude as if they've won 3 rings. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what it is, bro. But they have this weird mentality of they are that dude when they haven't accomplished anything. Russell Westbrook obviously has his MVP. He has the triple-double, Mr. Triple-Double, all that stuff. But to me personally, if I'm not winning rings on top of that, it just seems worthless. It just seems so empty. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments.
With Draymond tells the Lakers, just run it back and be healthy. When that right there is the major problem. As Anthony Davis in the past 2 years has missed 51% of games.
Yeah.
Compared to LeBron,
that's sad, man.
Who's missed 42%.
I
This
hate
Lakers
seeing
team's
that.
biggest problem is age, as well as staying healthy.
Hold on.
And
Didn't they get rid of Malik Monk? Stupid asses.
on top of that, looking at last year, in three-point shooting, they were 22nd. In turnovers, they were 5th. Rebounding, they were 18th. And defensive rating, they were 21st.
Oh my God.
So what do you have right here is a team who can't shoot, they turn the ball over, they
Yeah, I
can't
remember that.
rebound,
Dwight was bugging.
they're awful on defense, and they're old and injury prone.
That's crazy.
That right there for any team is a recipe for disaster as well as failure. And once again, looking at Westbrook, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole.
Yep.
As the Lakers very recently said they want Westbrook to be a spot-up shooter, shooting in the corners.
Should have got
I don't know if
Buddy.
that's fake news, fake reporting. I don't know what that is. But whoever came up with that is an absolute dunce. As Westbrook last year, stats-wise, was one of the worst jump shooters in the entire NBA. Out of 65 players who took at least 500 jumpers, Russell Westbrook ranked 64th, only behind Julius Randle. And looking at shooting in the paint, it was even worse. As among qualifiers, which there were 54, Russell Westbrook ranked 53rd, only ahead of RJ Barrett.
Like that. Hold on.
Westbrook ranked
Look at this.
53rd, only ahead of...
No one talks about that, though. No one talks about that nonsense, though. Y'all love saying Stephen Curry, he gloats all the time. He front runs all the time. All this, that, and the third. He has 4 rings. He has 4 rings. He has broken record on record on record on record on record on record on record. I don't understand, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something, too. The only reason why I get upset about this from Russell is he be getting blasted doing this. He be losing by 30 doing this. He'll be shooting 6 for 25 doing this. That's what pisses me off about him. When he's doing good in doing that, I'm applauding him, man. Because he's busting somebody's ass. And I love to see it. But there's no way you're going to sit here and tell me you love seeing this as he's getting blown out by 30, shooting bricks, can't hit the damn side of a barn with a rock, and tell me we're not showing him enough love. Shut the hell up. You're not showing him that he is incorrect. You're not showing him correct criticism. Not saying to be rude. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to be rude. There's no reason for that. We're all intelligent human beings around here. We could correlate a sentence and correlate an argument, a conversation without being rude and insulting anybody. We can do that. In this community, we can do that. But let's be realistic, man. There's no way you should be doing this. I've seen them get blasted by Detroit. I've seen it. I watched all NBA games as much as I could. Because all the teams were very exciting this year. Next year, they're going to be even more exciting.
Of RJ.
Y'all got to hold them responsible, bro.
And look, for the Lakers next year, their best player is LeBron James, who's going to be 38. Their second best player is Anthony Davis, Mr. Glass. And Russell Westbrook is their third,
Mr.
who's going to put
Glass.
a beach ball in the ocean.
See?
If you believe in that team, I applaud you for being loyal to your Lakers squad.
I do too.
As the rest of us will be laughing and cheering them on in the play-in tournament.
Oh my God. Ugh.
And staying in LA, next up, we have Draymond Green talking about Kyle Kuzma as well as Brandon Ingram and their fit from the 2020 Lakers.
The thing that people don't realize is when you make decisions like that, and so some people who don't understand winning,
Right.
and basketball to a certain extent, but definitely don't understand winning will say, oh man, but Brandon Ingram has been an all-star.
Right.
So that was the wrong move.
Right.
But if you understand winning, what I say is, but they won a championship.
I'll get my
So
take on that.
Regardless of what your thoughts could be on that topic,
I had a lot to say about this
they
too.
won a championship. And that automatically trumps everything.
Now, talking to you guys, the viewer, I think all of us know, looking at championship teams, fit definitely matters. You can't just have 5 guys who are all score first players, put them on a team, and expect to win a championship. No one thinks that, and it simply wouldn't work. On every championship team, you need your Andrew Wiggins, your Marcus Smart,
Absolutely.
your Tristan Thompson, the role players who get dirty and play defense. Now, with that being said, looking at the Lakers,
My God,
Draymond in
Ingram.
this regard misses the boat. Looking at Ingram as well as Kuzma.
Ingram is so tough.
As back in 2019, the Lakers
So
was
tough.
LeBron James and a bunch of children. And in order to get Anthony Davis, the Pelicans needed assets that were valuable and had a high ceiling. Something in Brandon Ingram they definitely got. Compared to Kuzma, who was already an older player and reached his peak by year 2.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that Kuzma. I think Kuzma's going to keep getting better and better and better. I don't agree with that personally. People keep saying that, but I'm seeing the improvements in Kuzma. It's just he needs to keep working harder and harder and harder. I think he's getting. I think the lifestyle in LA made him lazy. If I may be very honest with you guys. And when it came to Brandon Ingram, I think the Lakers just didn't believe in him personally. I think they wanted a buy now man. Now, when Draymond said that they won their ring and that totally trumps that, look where they are now. That ring, number one, is very questionable. They won it. Don't get me wrong. They won it. I'm not going to sit there and I don't think it's questionable. Me personally, I don't think it's questionable. You won the ring. You won the ring. People saying, oh, but people were injured. There was the bubble. Circumstances happen. I get it, bro. We can't sit here and tell people that they don't deserve that ring because circumstances happened. You know, we can't do that. That's not fair. They won their ring. But now it's for the future. Golden State is literally the blueprint of how an organization should be ran when it comes to not only having stars, but also building them and having them go to the G League and train and then having them play some games and then, you know what I'm saying? Like losing some games in the regular season just so they could get their feet wet. You get what I'm saying? And the Lakers, they never were about that. They're about now, and now. So if they kept Brandon Ingram instead of, I don't know, me personally, bro, it's hard because I love AD and I would have done the same thing. But I would have tried my hardest to keep Brandon Ingram some way, somehow. I would have tried because he would have been really good for them the past 2 years, extremely well. But when it comes to people being on LeBron's team, LeBron doesn't do well with developing players. He doesn't. He doesn't do a good job at that. He raises the ceilings for shooters and stuff like that. Oh, easily. He's one of the. I think he's one of the smartest players ever. But when it comes to things like this, bro, it's just like, nah, man, nah. I'm not with that. I don't believe that. But Kuzma's gonna keep doing better, and so is Ingram, without a doubt.
And looking at Ingram after being traded from the Pelicans, he averaged 24 game on 39% shooting from 3 at age 22.
And that's good.
Made the All-Star game.
That's really good.
I'm not sure that team still wins if they keep BI over you because of the skill sets.
Over you?
Like,
Right.
all of these pieces have to fit in.
Have to.
And what you brought to that team, you were like, you and KCP were the shooters.
They needed KCP too.
Now, let's get one thing very, very clear. Looking at Kyle Kuzma, he's a decent NBA player. In the 2020 playoffs, en route to the championship, he averaged 10 points on 31% shooting from 3 while playing average defense. And looking at the Lakers team, he was in the top 5 defensive weapons, as LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Danny Green, Caruso, as well as Dwight Howard were all much better defensive players. And actually, Kyle Kuzma was the only
Oh my God.
player with a negative defensive plus-minus. And at the end of that clip, Draymond Green called Kyle Kuzma a sniper from 3. As once again in that playoff run,
No,
he
he's
shot
not.
31% from deep.
Yeah, he's not a.
Out of the rotation players, that was the second worst behind Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
Markieff Morris, Rajon Rondo,
Yo,
KCP, LeBron.
they ruined this team. I don't. Me and my friends and my dad and everybody, we always talk about this. They won and then imploded that team. You needed KCP. You needed Caruso. JR, I don't even know what the hell JR even did. You needed JaVale McGee. Dudley was just whatever. Deion Waiters would have been good if he got his stuff together. Markieff Morris, Quinn Cook, they had a good team, bro. They really did. They really did, bro. Rondo, it still pisses me off that they blew this team up the way that they did. If anybody could explain to me the reason why they did, let me know down in the comments as well too, please. I would love to know.
Ron James, Danny Green, even Anthony Davis all shot better from deep. Draymond's overall point in what he's saying, in theory, is right. But looking at Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram, you don't think Ingram could average 10 points, play average defense, and shoot 30% from 3. That on a bad night for Brandon Ingram is happening 24/7. On a good night, he's giving you 20 on 40% from deep. The Lakers with him in 2020 would have been unstoppable and even more dominant than they actually were. And in 2022, quite possibly be contending for championships. Now, that right there is my final point and the end of the video, and our last bad Draymond take. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, man, I think most of those takes from Draymond Green are just simply him just rambling. I'm not even gonna lie. And we all do that sometimes. I do that too sometimes. And I probably will consistently do that as my YouTube career continues as well too. I have no doubt about that. But the thing is, I have no problem being wrong. I don't think Draymond has a problem being wrong either. Because if you're wrong, it means you can get better. Nothing wrong with that at all. You feel me? So that was interesting because I didn't know some of those stats when it came to the Lakers organization and KD versus Morello. Because I just saw that comparison too, like yesterday. So that's very interesting to see that. But again, people are in love with this hezzy tween bullshit, which does nothing. Curry, and the thing I love about Curry is he's stuck to his game. He's not changing his game for y'all just because you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Losers love losers. There's a reason why people keep critiquing his game and want him to do what Kyrie does and what KD does and all that nonsense. Why the media keeps saying like why Mike James saying he's one-dimensional for some reason. Like, it's because y'all can't do what he does, but he could do what y'all do. That's the big difference. He can do what y'all do. He just doesn't have to because he does everything. He does what he does effortlessly. So I don't get it personally. How people don't understand this. People say things like, oh, KD saved the Warriors, this, that, and the third. And it's just like, you do understand that Steph was growing every single year, right? Phenomenally. And you do understand that he went to the Warriors. He didn't. You do understand? He went to the Warriors. He went to the Warriors. Like, I don't know how many times I have to say that. So, and then at the same time, Steph was so unselfish. He allowed Cade. He embraced him, and all that. So when people say things like that, I always laugh. But this year solidified that to me personally. If it didn't to you, I don't know. I don't think you're too bright. But the man's 34 years old, giving dudes 30 plus still on amazing shooting percentages. Like, come on now. Like, it's hilarious, but hey, I love it, man. Hey, but it's your boy Melly, man. This is a nice critique and nice video to commentary on, man. Check out Uncut Hoops, man. He does a phenomenal job, man. And we're gonna be out of here. I gotta get back to work. So per usual, peace, love, and keep that drip immaculate at all times, baby. Love y'all, man. New subscribers, love y'all. Welcome to the family. The ones that are interested, come join, baby. Come join the family, baby. On the road to 1,000 subs. Love the hell out of all y'all. Peace. Bow. Stay sexy, y'all. Peace.